How's it going, people? I would say good morning, but it's not good morning, it's good afternoon, right? But it's a lovely day, it's a lovely day. But just to start this one off, right, which is quite a puzzler, right? I am boiling the kettle, so if you can hear the kettle, again, it might boil over, it might boil till there's no water, I don't know, right? But I've got some new bits today, I'm going to talk to you about. But before I do that, right, I want to show you something. So I've been working on a van, behind my van currently, doing some bits this morning. Sorted that van out, and I came round to my back of my van, my sliding door. So let's just acknowledge my new mat. Ah, that's a new mat. The other one was falling apart, but as you can see, right, somebody has left me 2 lemons and a banana outside my van. Now, I mean, and coincidentally, it's shaped in the position of a penis and 2 bollocks. Now, I don't know if they're calling me a penis or a bollock or what, or they're just giving me some fruit. I'm not entirely sure. Right? I'm guessing. But whoever did that, thank you very much appreciated. I mean, the mould is, the banana's all soggy and soft, and the lemons look like they're ancient, but thank you very much. But let's make a coffee, right, and then we'll talk about some new additions that I've got in the van, because I haven't been filming recently. Been busy doing other stuff. I'm busy with life and just, yeah, not really having the drive to do it. I don't mean that in a horrible way, it just mean that as in, like, don't know, took a bit of time out, so I'm kind of having to catch up with myself again. But it is what it is, and it is a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Sunshine. Although I have just ordered some new hats, because I can't wear a beanie hat now, can I? Can't wear a beanie hat this time of year. As much as I want to wear a beanie hat all year round, it's just my thing. I like wearing a beanie hat. It's just cosy, isn't it? But it just gets too sweaty in the summer. Yeah, and some new vests, and I think a pair of shorts. Yeah, just preparing myself for a bit of summer. And I got some good news coming, which I'll inform you as well in this video. Oh, you're not spoiled today. But yeah, let me get a coffee done, right, and then we'll sit down and we'll have a little chat, right, and then I'll show you some stuff as well. So, one of my newest little purchases, right, one of the newest little purchases is this bad boy, right. Now, being a mechanic, you're always trying to figure out where you're going to put your coffee, right. Someone hands you a coffee, you're like, where do I put it? I don't want to put it on the floor and knock it over, right. So I decided to get this genius. Oh, windy. Hold on. Finished? Lovely. Right, anyway. Time to get this genius thing, right? Watch. Oh. And that can go pretty much anywhere, right? Coffee. Oh, look at that. That is genius. And the better thing, right, is, take my coffee out of there for a second. With the Avecos, they have a stupidly massive drinks holder in the door pocket, which is annoying in the door pocket. You can't put a coffee in there, right? It doesn't really work unless you wedge stuff. You got to put like a bottle down there, or, you know, an old sandwich box, and wedge your coffee in every time you put it down. So again, originally I had this. So originally I had a little fold down with the little cup holder. So I'm probably going to take that off now, I don't need it, right? But I got this bad boy. Bosh! Do you know what I mean? Cup holder. So it's not just for when I'm sat outside and you know, I'm working on cars and I need somewhere to put my coffee, because you can't always put it on the floor. I will knock it over, right? Or when I'm sat outside in the summer and I need somewhere to put my drink. Just magnetise this on the side of the van. Amazing. So there is a part of me that's like, you know, I wonder if this is patented. I wonder if I can get some Road Viking ones. You know, get the Road Viking logo on the front. I mean, it is originally a Sealy one. I'm not trying to rob Sealy's idea. I'd like, that'd be a cool bit of merch, wouldn't it? That'd be a cool bit of merch. Maybe I should just buy these and put my stickers on the front of them. Or is that fraud? I don't know. Right. So I'm sat on the bed, right, and let's be honest. Few things. In the summer, right, obviously when living in a van it gets hot and sweaty. You're in a tin box, let's be honest, you're gonna get hot, you're gonna get sweaty, it's gonna get miserable unless you've got aircon, right, which we've not all got the privilege of having the power to run an aircon system because they are very thirsty. So my methods of last year was had a little desktop fan, which would sit on the window here and blow air in. I've got 2 skylights and all the windows, and they've all got mesh on them, so I can have them all open, and it gets quite cool in here, right? But what I was failing was at night having something to cool me down, and when I'm parked up somewhere for a long time, obviously directly in the sun, it's going to get hot and sweaty in here, and sometimes it gets ridiculously hot. And with my future plans, which I'll get onto shortly, you'll understand why I'm going for this. Now I might buy another one, so I can have one on each vent. Oh, nearly give it away then. But I got a turbo kit for my van. Not the kind of turbo kit that you're thinking of. Bam! Now you can get obviously max air fans. Now max air fans are a great bit of kit, but I feel like you kind of lose a skylight. You know, you kind of lose the daylight that comes through it. You know, I'd miss that if I had a big fat vent in there all the time. Do you know what I mean? So, and I've already fitted these 400 by 400 skylights in my van, and obviously, as you already know, my van is spray foam insulated, so the spray foam is up to it. And yes, I could cut it out and then put a new skylight in. It'd just be a bit of work. Do you know what I mean? I've got 2 skylights in here now that don't leak, and they're just perfectly fine, and I like the light that comes through, and I like looking up through it, lying on the bed and just looking through the skylight. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, what can I do in regards to having a fan on it? And I was looking at computer fans and stuff like that to put in there, just to suck the air in and out. It'd just be a little fan here, and I thought, So I did some scouring on the internet, and I found this, right? This is Fiamma. This is a turbo kit. Right, it's not a turbo kit to go on my engine, it's a turbo kit for the fan, right? So, in this box, basically, don't get me wrong, 400 by 400 is the smallest vent you want to go to have one of these, and I'll explain why shortly. Now, this bad boy, look, it's got like adjustable legs on the ends, and you have some little metal clips that go on here, and then if you've got a big skylight, these feet will stretch out and then click in, and then they're on a spring loaded, so they sort of hook themselves in, right? But obviously on here you've got a big fan. It basically turns your skylight into like a little max air fan. I'm not saying it's as good as a max air fan, I'm just saying it's going to be sucking air in and blowing air out, put it that way. You can run these off batteries. I think this is quite an old thing that's been around for quite a few years, to be honest, put it that way, because it's not rechargeable, put it that way. But it comes with a normal cigarette lighter port, and obviously plugged in, right, which you can use if you're not going to use it all the time. Do you get what I mean, right? And it also comes with the same port but a hard wire, so you can hardwire that in, and I'm going to do that eventually. I'm going to put this the wire hanging through the sidewall here, run it through so it's up in my ceiling, and I can run that down to my fuse board either on this side or that side. Yeah, so, and on the box itself, you're in here, you can put, I think it's like I don't know how many batteries go in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 batteries go. 8 of those big chunky batteries go in here, and you can make it work if you want to. So it could actually be on call. And this is the good thing about this. You haven't got to just use it in your skylight. You know, you can put it in your window. If you're outside, you can put it on the side, and it can be blowing air at you. Do you know what I mean? That's the bonus about having this thing. So it can do more than one thing. But on here, you've got high, off and low, right? So yes, although it's in its current state, if you just plug it in with this, it would only blow air in. But when you use that one, the hardwire one, basically what they do to you is you take the switch off the end. Hang on. Hang on. You take the plug off the end, like that, and you turn it and put it back in again, and it reverses the voltage, which then turns the fan blowing out. Do you get what I mean? So it's not like you have a switch that you turn it, you can switch the polarity and make it go one way and the other way. You kind of got to do that yourself. So don't get it wrong, the price of this thing is like, I think it was 70 quid, 80 quid, I think it was. But I thought, do you know what, it's going to be a game changer, and I'm going to be thankful for it when it gets to summer, and what I'm going to tell you later. But for me to fit this, right, so I'm just going to hardwire this in right now. Just literally, well, not hardwire it in, I'm going to use the cigarette harness, because I've got a cigarette port there. But it usually comes with little metal feet. If you've got a 400 by 400, you don't really need that, because this literally will just wedge in. So if I put this up here, and then boom, boom, that is not going anywhere, put it that way. Yes, you lose a bit of daylight down here, but obviously that's to be expected when you're putting a big fan in the middle of it. Throw that bad boy in a cigarette lighter. Light is on, fan is not off. On the side of here, we can go, voila. We now have cold air being blown into the van. Circulation. Oh, I really do think this is going to be a game changer when it comes to summer in van, because when you're trying to sleep and you've got no breeze over you, I know it's probably going to be blowing hot air at me, but it's moving air around, you know. So if you've got one vent open and a couple of windows open, it will just circulate the air. And with my van being spray foam insulated, it is a lot cooler in here compared to most vans that are just metal, put it that way. But yeah, I think that's a real. I didn't think anything of that. I was like, there must be something like that exists to be able to replace in with what fan you've got and this, that and the other. But look at that, fits perfectly. I don't wrong, yeah, there's meant to be little metal clips that hold these little feet in, but that is literally going nowhere. It does say don't drive with it in place. I reckon I could drive with that in there without falling out. Worst case now, it just lands on the bed. I could just see it now, lying on bed in summer, nice cool breeze just hitting me. Oh, got my belly out. Sorry about that. But loving life. I can feel it from here. And that's in the lowest setting. So on the highest setting, it is quite loud. I say quite loud. It's not horrendous. Now I will say, none of this is sponsored. I'm not getting paid to shout any of this out, Fiamma or this I'm about to talk about now. But this is another thing that keeps me cooler in the hotter weather, right? Now, this thing, I think when I first got this, I was working for a company and I was trying to sleep. I was working nights, so I was trying to sleep during the day when it was actually at its hottest, and it was just a nightmare. You know, it was in here like just cooking, like, because yeah, I was always parked somewhere I couldn't leave the windows open. It was only the vents on the roof. You didn't want to leave them wide open. Oh, it was just, yeah, sweaty, put it that way. So I purchased this, and I'm pretty sure I've spoke about it before, but I thought I'd join it in with this video just because it's on the subject of staying cool during the summer. Now, obviously, with the combine of that, having that fan now and the three windows I have got with our mesh on, and they're quite wide, and when you've got the windows cracked at the front and this vent open as well, it's not too bad in here. Like if you actually parked up somewhere where you can just have everything open up. But when you're closed in or whatever, and you know at night you want to stay a bit cooler or this, that and the other, this thing here, it's called a baldre, right? And basically it's got a fan on one side which blows through that way, and then it's got, hang on, two of these, right? So it's got one either side. So it's got that, and then it's got one on this side, like that, right? And then it's got a foam filter. Let me see if I can get that out as well. So it's got like a filter on the inside, right? So that sits at the bottom. Look, it's quite simple really. Computer fan one side, this filter here, that sort of sits in there in the middle, right? And then it sits in a little tray. So what these hold water, and there's like a little valve on the inside, right? So what I was doing was having my fridge really cold. My fridge could either be a fridge or a freezer, so I can make it really cold in there. So basically, to avoid my milk was freezing a little bit, you know, yogurt's nearly turned into ice cream. But you'd fill them with water, keep one in the fridge, one in here, right? So basically that goes into there, slots in, locks into place with the lid, pushes down the valve, drops water in, hits the filter that's in the middle, climbs up the filter, and then the fan is blowing the colder air at you and actually putting moisture back in the air, you know. And I found this to be a great help. Yes, it's a tad little noisy when you've got it on full whack, but I don't think you really care when you're staying cooler, do you know what I mean? So that in itself was a game changer, and I will be using it again, I'm sure. And the perk about that is it works off USB and it uses next to no power, obviously being a little computer fan, little 12-volt computer fan. I don't even think it's even 12-volt. I can't really see through there in a minute. But yeah, another game changer, especially, you know, adding with everything else. It's just find those little things that are small, because this is small, you know, the fan's not exactly massive. I can still put that into the bed when I don't need to use it, and just being practical. But obviously this is all like, how can I put it? Van life on a budget, but the posh side of budget, you know, posh side of budget. You know, I can't afford these fancy aircon, or you know, having two max air fans and all that kind of thing. So this max air fan's what, 300 and something quid. That fan was 80 quid. This thing I think was even like 15 quid. I think 20 something, well, maybe 15 to 20 pound I think it was on the old eBays. But yeah, all about improvising and making the best of what you got. So yeah, a couple of little things that just keep me cooler during the hotter weather. So yeah, I think that's going to be a game changer when it comes to summer. Yes, it's no aircon, but it's just moving air around the van, and that's the key, right? If you let it just be stagnant and no breezes going through, you're going to be quite miserable, aren't you? Let's be honest. But yeah, so the whole point of me getting that as well is for this whole future thing that I'm going for, right? So I'm going to have a plan of, I've got a couple of friends of mine, I'm sure you already know them. If you don't already, go and follow them on Instagram, the Hippie Bus. They are currently over abroad well, they're in Portugal at the minute. They're going to be coming over at some point, and we're going to be giving their van an overhaul, getting it all sorted, but just getting their van tip top. Do you know what I mean? So the plan is, once we've done that, I think around September is the plan. Yeah, we are going to go abroad. We are going to get out of this country for a bit. I plan to do 3 months France, Spain, Portugal, and see what's about, you know, check out bits of land as well, catch up with some friends, see their plots of land, go do some travelling. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I need to get out and about, and it's giving me something to aim for. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm already getting excited. I'm like, ooh, got itchy feet, let's go. Do you know what I mean? I'm buzzing. I think, oh, get me out. Now, I will say this as well, obviously I'm going to take you with me, and I'm going to film it all as I go along. It's just something to look forward to, something for the channel to look forward to as well, if that's something you're interested in seeing. which I'm pretty sure it's going to be fucking epic, because, you know, I don't tend to do things half measure, put it that way. But yeah, I want to experience it, I want to get out, and obviously I do want to buy land over there at some point. But first of all, we need to get set in motion of getting over there and actually checking out what's going on. So yeah, September is the plan, but obviously we won't play that by ear. But this brings me on to my next subject. My Buy Me a Coffee link, obviously anybody who's bought me a coffee or donated anything, highly appreciated. You know, you're all legends. Thank you very much for the support. It does go massively miles, you know. I think somebody donated me something the other day when I was pretty much on my arse and was like, fucking hell, you know, I worked, but then I had to pay loads of stuff out for other stuff. And then he donated me something and it was just like, wow, what a legend. Do you know what I mean? So thank you really so much for that. But yes, with the Buy Me a Coffee link now, I will be putting the Buy Me a Coffee link as changing it to, you are Buy Me a Coffee, but I'm going to use that money towards that trip. You know what I mean? So if anybody wants to feel like they want to donate towards that trip and they want to help out with that trip, you know, and prepare for money towards prepping the van and getting the van ready, between getting over there, between the fuel and, do you know what I mean? This is not a poverty thing. This is not, please pay, help me. Do you know what I mean? No, it's not. This is, you know, if anybody wants to help me out and sort me out with, you know, whatever, £5 for the Buy Me a Coffee. Sound, appreciate it. But again, this is not a poverty thing. This is not me creaming for help. This is not me going, buy me a coffee now. No, it's not. If, you know, if a few people that want to support me, and if you want to support me, thank you very much. You know, and I think going forward now, the Buy Me a Coffee thing, I'm going to leave that money there, and I'm just going to let it sit there, and that's going to be spending money or something like that towards making better content, you know, and going forward. And I think that's a good way of doing it. You know, so yeah, I'll leave that link in the description if anybody wants to, off your own back, you know, that's fine. I'm sure people are going to moan at me for saying that, but perfectly fine. We're all valid to our own opinion, but yeah, I will be trying to do work, you know, so there might be mechanical stuff. I might try to advertise a bit of my business while I'm out there with local forums and stuff like that. But it might end up just being, I end up doing fruit picking. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not picky with regards to what brings in money. You know, I might go over there. I want to do 3 months over there. That's the plan. So we'll get a full experience. You know, I might get over there, have a month or two of just, you know, enjoying and exploring, and then I might have to do a month of, you know, the odd couple of days here and there doing fruit picking or anything like that to bring in some money, to keep me afloat while I'm over there and to get me back. But I am going to do a return ticket, so I haven't got to worry about that. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be clever about it. But yeah, I'm just buzzing. I'm buzzing. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. And, you know, I just think it's going to open my eyes, you know. And all I see is, you know, videos and pictures of everybody else's land and what they're doing and stuff like that. And I know I'm not going to put pressure on myself and be like, right, get yourself out there now. Like, I've got other things, got other priorities at the minute. Obviously I have got a young daughter as well. She's 13, so I want to wait till she's older before I go, right, jump the gun and just fuck off abroad. Do you know what I mean? So I can't do that to her. I'm not going to do that to her. Like, obviously when she's old enough, she'll be able to come over by herself. Do you know what I mean? And I'll be able to, you know, she can come on holiday. You know what I mean? Or she can come over for 3-6 months at a time. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But yeah, interesting one. What else have we got? Oh yeah, I was about undersealing my van again. Obviously it's now coming towards summer. I like to do that during the summer when everything's nice and dried out. So I jumped on the old Lanagard stuff. I haven't got it yet. It's just been ordered to my sister's. So when I'm next passing through there, I'll pick it up while I'm up that way. But yeah, we've got some of that Lanagard. I've heard lots of good stuff about it, and I feel like, you know, it's less prep work, that kind of thing. You just wire brush underneath your van and then just spray it on. So hopefully that's going to be a winner. But yeah, I'm probably going to leave that one there. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to keep it real, keep it safe and keep it true. And I'll see you lot in the next one. Ta-da.